stay and fight for you. Fight till my heart is black and blue. Fight till there's nothing left. Not one single strand of the love we had. I wanna stay and fight for us. Fight like hell before I give up. Till I'm the only one in love. I'd fight for you. Stay and fight. What to freaking do? This is the beginning of the battle of the two divas, Toni versus Tamar. Dum dum dum. So, here we freaking go. The episode began with the girls sitting down. And this whole thing about, the house that the house that Tawanda, Trina, and Tracy had rented in Malibu. It's his haunted, bitch. Boo hoo. It's haunted. They think that it's haunted. Apparently some shit go down, the lights go off, or something happened. And Tamar was like, look, bitch, I'm out. All the black folks died in horror movies, and it's time to skedaddle. Ain't nobody got time for that. Everybody was like, really, Tamar? Then, of course, it's usually Toni leaves, then Tamar. But, recently it has been Tamar leaving, then Toni. So Toni, you guys, I can't stay here either. I'm not scared at all. I'm not scared, but, I can't stay here. So she gets up and leaves. And pretty much there you go. On to the next scene. Trina talks to Gabe because Trina's very frustrated. She's frustrated with Tamar and Toni and just the whole thing because they've been there for however long they've been there in the house, and their whole purpose, the whole purpose of moving to LA, what Toni and Tamar is to work on the album, the Sisters album, because it's all about the sisters. And they ain't been able to get shit done, and Trina's frustrated. She feels like, I just let Gabe back into my home, and, this house, people are saying that the house is haunted, and, I just don't know what to do, Gabe. And she actually invites Gabe up there without telling the sisters. Now, the girls made a rule. If you wanted company coming by, just, let me know or whatever and all that. But since Trina feels like Gabe is her husband, that she don't have to tell nobody that, she's inviting Gabe. Now, if this was any other normal situation, I would agree. She really ain't got to discuss it. But since they're all so involved in each other's lives, and it's just so much drama, and to be completely honest, the girls really don't like Gabe like that, especially Tamar. It'll just be a little awkward with him being there, and this is another sisters trip. They leave them husbands at home. This is another sisters trip. It's all about the sisters, the women's, and for her not to tell the girls, interesting. But we didn't see Gabe this episode, so maybe in a later episode, he's gonna arrive finally. Hopefully, she be done told them something by then. So all the girls, they have a second meeting actually, and well, no, actually before that, Tamar, she's auditioning dancers because her first solo tour is coming up. So she's auditioning girls. This is the first time she's working with female dancers. And she was like, okay, she don't want them to be skinnier than her. They can't have, they gotta have this type of hair. Like, because I can't have no chicks behind me that look better than me. Like, where they do that at? Like, no. Like, I could be having no chicks behind me and they ain't right. They ain't popping because it's the first time we're using females and that ain't hot. So, take that. Actually, out of however many girls that she auditioned for Tamar's tour, actually, she only chose 2 of them. And one girl was a little bit apprehensive when one of the people that worked with Tamar asked, can you change her hair color? Her hair color was kind of like reddish. Like a reddish brown pussy popping color. And she was just like, and Tamar was like, don't worry about it. Cut. So it was just down to one girl, and the guy asked her if she got a visa, I guess, so she can, get her money, come on, direct deposit. And the girl's like, no, I don't have one. And so it was like, oh, this is going to be a problem. But she can get one. Like, child. So it was just, a scene and a moment. It's just very interesting how um, Tamar is getting ready to go on tour. And she's also working on the Sisters album. I feel like at one point she's going to drop out. Maybe. Maybe not. But I feel like it's going to be a clashing moment. Like once the whole thing comes together, because it's gonna be some moments where they got to be in the studio or whatever working on the Sisters album, but she got to perform, she got to promote and do whatever. Just watch what I tell you as the season go on. It's gonna be a mess. It's gonna get worse. All I know. Um, all the girls meet up for a second time. They're very much torn, especially Tamar and Toni. Toni wants to do more wants to go the more modern gospel route, like, well, more inspirational, I should say. Very much, I believe I can fly. Uh, Whitney Houston, I believe in you and me. Mariah Carey, Hero. Um, Pharrell's Happy. That those kind of moments. Not quite gospel, but gospel influenced. Not like praise holy Jesus worship choir, and that's where Tamar wants to seem to keep it very old school, very let's go down by the riverside, very his eyes is on the sparrow. And the girls is like, not so much. Actually, Trina and Toni is on the same level, and they're very much like, look, what we need to do is just sit down and listen to the radio one night, get inspired, get ideas, and just be like, okay, write that down, or mental note moments, and just be like, look, I like this, I like that, I like this, I like that. And Tim was just like, what? Well, what about your core audience though? So you're gonna do this with our core audience? Who are we aiming this to? What about the record labels? Tamar is very much concerned about the business side of it. And Toni was like, look, Tamar, this is the thing. I'm an old bitch. I have been in the industry much longer than you. You're still very much a new artist. So fall back, okay? You don't know what you're talking about. I feel me, Toni Braxton, the only reason why this show is here, that it should be an inspirational album, and don't worry about the businesses and the shows and all that stuff will come later. But I feel like if you start to worry about the numbers and all that at first, it ruins the creative process. Okay? And Tim was just like, what? This ain't the Toni show. You know what Toni issue is that she's been a solo artist her whole life, right? So she's having a little trouble listening to other people because she's always gotten her way. That's really what it is. Who do I agree with that? Actually, a little bit of both of them. I feel what Toni is saying, like, music is about the music. Keep it pure, keep it real. Once you start worrying about numbers and all that crazy stuff, it does kind of ruin the creative process. Definitely. Because it's just about the music and making good music and music that you love. The hits will come later on if they're hits. Nobody never really knows if they're gonna have a hit song or not until it becomes a hit. We all hope so in the back of our mind, but in the meantime, you just love the song, and the record label, whatever, decides to use your song. Well, one of your songs that you just so happen to write, maybe, or that you love the most, and they use that as the single, and hopefully it'll blow up. You just never really know. But at the same time, I understand where Tamar's coming from with that, because you need to have all the basics out the way, and just need to think about this. Who are you aiming this to? First of all, y'all don't even have a record label yet, so what's the tea with that? Like, it's just I pretty much get both sides, but as of right now, at least at first, at the beginning of the episode, when they was talking about that, the second meeting, what I'm talking about right now, I agree with Toni a little bit more. So, moving right on along. So what happened after that? I think the mama brought over a piano, actually, because she wants the girls to sit down and sing when they was little. We found out that Tawanda can play the piano, but we didn't get any proof because she feels like she don't have to prove it to anybody. Okay, Wanda, so you can't play. Okay, okay. So Tamar actually walks over to the piano and she freaking starts playing like she's the choir director or something, and it was so funny. It was just like, this is the way she starts messing with Trina about the way that she pronounce things. Y'all know Trina talks a little differently than the rest of them, and it was really really funny. And it was quite a cute scene. And the mama, she's just in love with that moment, and it was nice seeing all of them together, singing at the piano because as Mama E would say, that's where they come from, for God's sakes. And so that's where they come from. Yes, God. So them cunts go grocery shopping. Tracy, Tawanda, and Trina. And Tawanda is very much, I wouldn't say that she's a health nut, but she's very much wants to buy foods that's going to make a meal. Okay? Not just a bunch of junk food. And so Tracy is very excited about the alcohol. But Trina, she is really flipping out about the alcohol. She loved that aisle. She started pulling out. She started getting all this alcohol. Trina's got a bunch of popsicles, ice cream, cookies, cakes, all kinds of little Debbie moments. It was just like, really? I hope they had separate checks or whatever, because I would have just bought my own damn food and just let them eat all that. I mean, we love ice cream and cakes and cookies. My God, we love them. But for y'all to be working on an album and y'all gonna have some studio time and all that, and then plus, it packs on the pounds, darling. Like, I totally was understanding. Was like, hey, tripping, Trina, you are not the boss of me, Tawanda. Like, we all stay in the house. That's my house too. You are not the boss of me. And Tawanda was just like, okay, cup box, whatever. That's you, boo. So they spend a lot of time at the house this episode. Now this is the third meeting. 3 meetings in 1 episode. You think they would have got some shit done by now, but not really. So this is the final scene. Tawanda and not Tawanda, these teas, I'm telling you. Toni and Tamar is making fun of all the junk food, all the popsicles, cookies, and cakes that Trina bought and put them all in there, talking about they're going to get thick and stuff and all that. But all of them are thick, so it's kind of like you're making fun of yourself. I mean, that's your sister. I mean, shit. I mean, at least we all know why Trina picked up the weight that Tracy lost. Because Trina like to eat cookies and cakes and shit and like to drink vodka straight. So, there you go, in the house. Now, like I said, the mom was frying chicken, so the girls decide to go over and sit down at the piano. Toni actually proves that she can play piano, and Tamar can play a little bit. And they sit down. The other 3 girls are standing up. They start having humming moments. What Jesus said. That's more so Toni, Tamar. I just want to know why I pray. Trina and Tawana, they're saying a little bit. Tracy's not really saying much. Anyway, they get to a line where Toni's playing and Tamar is mostly singing. And she's like, spend time together. And all of a sudden, Tawanda comes out of nowhere and just like, on our knees. Toni had a fit. On our knees? Darling, no. This is a song for the Lord. That's not proper. That's not right. And Tawanda and Tamar was kind of coming together. It was a beautiful scene. They came together for just one moment in time. Just for, if only for one night. Come on, Lufa. Those that loved him know him as Lufa. Okay, Lufa Vandross. Yes. They came together. They actually agreed on something. And Tony was just like, you know what? I don't know what you bitches are doing, but it's not gonna go down. I'm the star. Sorry about it. And it was kind of weird because the things that she thought that it was sexual. The whole comment about on our knees, she took it as too sexual and all that. It's too R&B and all that. And I get it, but I didn't think it was that deep. Like, just go with the flow, Tony. Like, words can be changed around. You know. I didn't really take it as anything sexual, but I guess if you think about it, if you think about it that deep, but if you think about anything, you can turn any statement into something sexual, right? Like anything. So just go with the flow, Tony, and just chill, sister girl. This was the beginning of Tamar versus Toni, child. When Tamar was twerking for Jesus, I just cannot. These girls got God all up and through them, and then he just disappears for like 2 hours, then comes back. It's so funny. It was just kind of weird because I was just like, okay, well, Toni very much wants to go the more inspirational, more modern gospel route, and that's what Tamar and Tawanda was singing. But she just felt like that line was too sexual. Mm, okay, whatever. Anyway, I'm Mr. Chalak. I'm Mr. Chalak on Google Plus. Follow me. I am Chase King was here on Facebook. Be my friend, and I am at It's King's World on Twitter. Like, comment. Share. Subscribe on Twitter. Retweet, share all these moments. That's how we do it down here. Boom. Yes, I'm gonna come up with my own song. Yes, God. That was my review of Toni, Tracy, Tawanda, Trina, Tamar, and Missy will teach you a thing or two in Braxton family value.